So this afternoon, it's time for number 4 in what I think is the best rock albums of 2023. It's a Swedish band I've been listening to for, must be 10 years now. And this is the first thing they've done in round about 15 years. And we're talking Dozer, Drifting in the Endless Void. Pretty cool cover. Now, as I say, Dozer have been making records since the early noughties at least. You know, possibly even a little bit earlier. But this one, I think, is the most interesting record that they've done, because anybody that knows Dozer's music knows that it's fairly uncompromising most of the time, and not what you'd call progressive. It's just when you're in the mood for something that's just going to hit you over the head hard and be completely unrelenting for about 40 minutes, then you get a Dozer record out. That's essentially what you're listening to, what they do. It's kind of psychedelic stoner heavy rock from Sweden, as I say. So, who's actually in the band? Well, we have Fredrik Nordin, again, Swedish name, so, you know, I'm going to mess them up. Vocals and rhythm guitar. Tommy Holappa on lead guitar, Johan Rockner on bass, and Sebastian Olsson on drums. Now this is Sebastian Olsson's debut with the band. Everybody else is the same as what was recording the last record that he did, in apparently around about 15 years ago. Now, this record, as I say, is to me the most interesting release, in so much as there's more going on than just being pounded repeatedly by heavy, strong riffs and powerful drums, which there's nothing wrong with. Okay? And if they're known for that, then that's what they're known for. But on this one, there's something a little bit more going on. There's something a bit more progressive and interesting going on. So it starts off with 2 great songs. The first one, Mutation Transformation, and then Ex-Human Now Beast, which is quite a catchy number. And then there's a thing called Dust for Blood, which is not bad. Then you've got one called Andromeda. Then there's one called No Quarter Expected, No Quarter Given, and Run Mortals Run, which is a lot of fun. And then it finishes with a bit of an 8.5 minute epic called Missing 13. That is really quite a progressive song, and it does show their tendency towards, nowadays, their tendency towards something a little bit more mellow than just repeated pummeling all the time. Now, as I said, it's the 6th record, I believe. 6th one they've done. And is it the best? It's Dozer at the end of the day. The thing about Dozer is, I've found that they don't really do classic albums. They do good albums. Enjoyable records. And this is another good, enjoyable record by Dozer. Now, as far as the press went, they remarked on, I mean, they got good write-ups. They remarked on the progress made in lyric writing and song construction. And I would have to agree with that, for once they're right. You know, this does take on a kind of progressive leaning. It's got kind of a progressive leaning to it, which you never ever saw in the previous records. Never. It was just pretty much unrelenting pounding, but very, very enjoyable. And as I say, those are a band who you would go to if you just wanted to be hit over the head really, really hard for about 40, 45 minutes. That's where you'd go. You'd go check out some Dozer. Now, I think it's a good record. I think it's a good Dozer record. You know, highs, lows, just like all the others. They haven't reinvented the wheel, but they have started to get a little bit more progressive. And that's one of the things I like about it, because I do like a band that can be a bit more progressive in the way they write and record. Now, this is very loud, obviously. It's a modern recording. There is vinyl available, and I would heartily recommend, as with pretty much every modern band or modern artist, get the vinyl, because it's out there and it's expensive, but ultimately it's worth it. You'll get more from this via the vinyl than you will streaming or a compact disc. But because Dozer have now started to just get a little bit more progressive and a little bit more interesting, that's what made me put them, and also the fact that they're back in business after so many years, that's what made me put them at my number 4 on the best rock records of 2023.